Yes, yes.
All right. See what the problem is.
Yes.
Okay. So it says that the energy density I of a black body radiation at temperature T given by Planck distribution,
Hmm. Hmm.
where mu is the frequency. Now this function is plotted for two different temperatures.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, while I'm reading, so many things should flash in mind because before I even look at the question. Okay. The
Yes.
first obvious thing which will hit my mind is that
Hmm.
at temperature T2, okay, the
Hmm.
peak is at a higher frequency, so T2 must be greater than T1, right?
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
we'll see the question that may be relevant, may not be relevant.
Hmm.
It says
Yes,
if
sir.
the two curves coincide, when, देखो, these curves are plotted for I versus frequency.
हाँ, हाँ.
Now they're saying that if the two curves coincide, when you plot I times frequency raised to A versus
Hmm.
frequency raised to B divided by T, then the
Okay.
value of A and B are respectively. That means you have to find what value of A and B will give me this kind of plot to be independent of anything else. Means you will have the same curve, irrespective of at
Hmm.
what temperature you plot. This Planck
Hmm.
distribution function multiplied by frequency raised to A versus this graph will always be same.
Hmm.
Single curve, only one curve. Now, for this, I don't
Okay.
need to know what is Planck's distribution function from the question.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
becomes purely mathematical and graphical.
हाँ. Yes.
If I understand simple math and simple graphs, then I should be able to answer such a question.
Hmm.
All right. So now,
Yes.
tell me what you think about this.
From the graph, sir, as you said that temperature T2 is greater than T1 because it lies on the
Yeah,
higher
but
frequency.
you look at the question. The question does not care whether it is greater or smaller, or it says it will be
हाँ.
independent, right? I told you this before I came to the question.
हाँ.
So
हाँ.
my
Yes.
point was when you are reading the question, right? The
Hmm.
entire analysis should flash through your mind. You know what is black body radiation, right? The
Hmm.
total energy is
Hmm.
proportional to T raised to 4. Immediately, as soon as
हाँ.
I see black body radiation at temperature T, that
हाँ.
should pass through my
Hmm.
mind. Then the
Hmm.
distribution
Yes.
function is given, fair enough, okay? And then the plot is
हाँ.
given, that is also fair enough. I know that higher temperature will give me maximum at higher frequency,
Hmm.
all right? That's Wayne's law, okay? So that also is there, fair enough, okay? But look at the question. Question does not care what you know about this. Question says this is purely mathematical.
Hmm.
So what kind of A and B will give me such plot of one quantity versus other quantity independent, okay, which means it will be same irrespective of at what temperature you plot.
Okay, sir.
So you have to use only smartness. The one doesn't need to know
हाँ. हाँ.
physics. If you know little maths
Yes. Yes.
and something about graphs, you should be able to answer this question.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just see what you are thinking.
As per the sir, as per the first I of nu t times v raised to a, so we can see here is the curve. So we have to simply put the analogy of relations in curve like if I is directly proportional to v, then we get the straight line for the resistance. So ऐसे कुछ सर लगा सकते हैं यहाँ पे, तो
हाँ तो
फिर उसके हिसाब
लगाओ
से a
लगाओ
और
ना
b.
लगाओ ना इस प्रॉब्लम में क्या लगाओगे बताओ.
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ. पहले में भी तो सर ये पहले में भी डायरेक्ट मतलब जैसे जैसे सर हमारा फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ते जाता है, टेम्परेचर एक पीक पे पहुंचता है, मतलब इंक्रीज होते होते एक पीक पे पहुंचता है, उसके बाद वो टेम्परेचर गोज ऑन डिक्रीजिंग.
लेकिन
सो
यहाँ
बाय
पे
दिस
वो
एनालॉजी.
ग्राफ का एनालिसिस करना ही नहीं है.
हाँ सर, तो बाय दिस
यहाँ
एनालॉजी
मैथमेटिकली तुम ए और बी की वैल्यू क्या लोगे तो आपको सेम ग्राफ ही मिलेगा इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ टेम्परेचर एट विच यू प्लॉट। सी ये ग्राफ में टेम्परेचर इज वन पैरामीटर, यू आर प्लॉटिंग कर्व आई वर्सेस फ्रीक्वेंसी। ओके, उसको थोड़ा मॉडिफाई करके आई वर्सेस फ्रीक्वेंसी बाय टेम्परेचर कर दिया तो आपको ग्राफ सेम हो जाएगा, दोनों ग्राफ। ये दो क्यों, तीसरा भी लिया चौथा भी लिया सब शायद सेम ही ग्राफ आएगा। तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा इसके लिए, you
कंफ्यूज सर
understand?
थोड़ा।
After I show you, you will say,
हाँ
oh, this was so simple, but that's what you have to do. I mean, people say
हाँ हाँ
these questions are very difficult. They are not difficult. It's just that you have to understand, visualize. इसमें देख के ही पता चल जाता है कि मुझे क्या करना है।
हम्म। समझा सर, बट मैं प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ मतलब कि कैसे ए और बी के वैल्यूज निकलेगी,
Okay,
बट समझ गया
okay,
क्वेश्चन।
okay. अब ये
हाँ
चार options दिए हैं तुमको। Are you able to see four options?
हाँ यस सर।
Yeah, sure.
फर्दर न्यू रेस टू बी बाय टी के लिए सर मेरे को लगता है बी का बी बी स्क्वायर में होना चाहिए, मतलब क्योंकि सर वन मतलब अगर ग्राफ के हिसाब से मतलब टू ऑब्टेन द सेम ग्राफ अगर वन होगा तो सर लीनियर आना चाहिए, बट यहाँ पे कर्व है और एक पीक तक जा रहा है तो आई थिंक मतलब ग्राफ के हिसाब से सर, फ्रॉम द
Okay.
पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ ग्राफ।
Let's look at what is.
हाँ
Let's, so you are given this curve, right?
हाँ यस सर।
And you want to make sure that this is same curve at all temperatures.
हम्म।
So you do some rearrangement in the given equation.
हाँ हाँ
You see what rearrangement we have done?
हाँ यस सर,
See,
न्यू क्यूब को यहाँ पे ले
there
लिया।
was frequency square and h nu. So frequency
हाँ
cube that I have
क्यूब,
shifted to the left side.
यस यस।
And now on the right hand side there is nu by t, t raised to nu by t, right?
हम्म
So if I plot I times nu raised to minus 3 versus nu by t, everything else is constant.
हम्म।
So it will give me the same curve, irrespective of what I do.
ओके।
Can you see that? What I'm saying?
हाँ 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 यस सर।
So if I take b equal to 1, that would be nu 1 upon t, frequency by temperature. And on the left hand side, it is nu raised to minus 3. It will give me same curve.
हाँ यहाँ पे यस यस।
Alright?
हाँ ऐसे वैल्यू तो -3 आ गया, हाँ हाँ समझ गया।
So that was your
यस
option in the given.
ओके। हाँ इक्वेशन का सर मैंने सोचा था बट ये लास्ट वाला एनालॉजी नहीं सोचता। यस यस आई अंडरस्टूड। इक्वेशन का सर पता मतलब वहाँ पे भी देख रहा था सर, न्यू स्क्वायर दिख रहा था, ये एच न्यू वाला भूल गया था, ये क्यूब हो जाएगा। हाँ ठीक है सर समझा।
Okay.
यस यस अंडरस्टूड।
Let's look at what the question is.
यस सर।
So you have a
स्पेस
spacecraft, okay?
हाँ
And it has sails which are reflecting, that are oriented perpendicular to the direction of sun.
हम्म
So the sail, matlab, the area of the sail is perpendicular to sun.
यस यस
So that radiation of sun directly hits the sail. And we know how much sun radiates, that's 10 raised to 26 watts, and sun has this much mass. Okay.
Mm.
Now, ignoring the effect of planets for the gravitational pull of the sun to balance radiation pressure of the same, what should be the area of the same? So, because of this photons, radiations hitting the sail from the sun, they would impart momentum, right? Force. And that force has to balance gravitational pull of the sun. So, how much area would
Okay.
actually balance that gravitational pull? That's what is to be calculated.
Okay, sir.
So आपको ये options दिए हैं. You are given these 4 options. So in this case, you don't have any direct formula from what you have been taught all these years.
Okay, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We don't know anything. So we have to work out from the scratch. That's called thinking from the basic perspective. So, so simple physics rules have to be applied to understand how the sunlight, which is 10 raised to 26 joules every second radiated, okay,
Sir.
is going to create sufficient pressure or force on that sail so that the gravitational attraction would be balanced.
Yes.
So let's look at this.
Ready,
Radiation
complete.
pressure is 2 times intensity divided by C.
Yes, yes.
And intensity is power radiated divided by 4 pi r. The sun radiates 10 raised to 26 watts. So if you go to distance r, that energy is spread over entire sphere of radius r.
Yes, sir.
So 4 pi r squared. All right. Right. So that energy crossing 4 pi r square in unit time, that will be your intensity.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Right. So if you know the intensity, you know the pressure. All right. Now force will be pressure into area of the sail. So gravitational pull, which will be gmm upon r square, is equal to pressure, which is 2I by C, and I is P by 4 pi r square. Where force will be times area. That will be force due to radiation pressure. And all we need to do is invert this to calculate area.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
We have all the values given
Yes.
here.
So
Okay.
I had to think from basics because this is something which we don't know in theory. In physics is a theory. But it's an application of what we have learned.
Yes, sir.
And that's what scientists would try to do, because if you launch a space probe, a small satellite or whatever device, it has to, you cannot keep on, where will the energy come from? So they will receive energy from the sun's radiation. Right? And so either that energy would be used for sailing them or would convert into electricity to produce needed electricity for functioning of its devices inside.
Yes, sir.
So if you do this, you will get area. If you substitute all the numbers given to you,
yes, sir. Yes.
then you should get area of 10 raised to 6 meters.
6 meters square. Yes.
So in this given question, that was option number 4. So you understand, in this case, we do not have exact theory which gives us the ready-made answer.
Yes, sir.
But we have to apply from first principle that if I have not drawn the diagram, but ideally you should draw the diagram to realize that why would intensity be this much, right? How pressure would be 2I by C, that you should be able to construct.
Yes, sir. Visualize किया sir.
So again, this is another question where you will have to construct your own formula on theory from the simple understanding of physics. So look at the question.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So read it now.
A parallel plate capacitor with rectangular plates of length L, breadth V, and plate separation D is held vertically on the surface of a dielectric liquid of dielectric constant kappa and density rho, as shown in the figure. The length and breadth are large enough for edge effects to be neglected, and diagram is given here. The plates of the capacitor are kept at a constant voltage difference V, ignoring effects of surface tension. The height h up to which the liquid level rises inside the capacitor is. So we have to find the height h up to which
Yes.
the liquid level
So first
capacitor.
thing you have to understand what will actually happen. Right? So initially I just allow the plates to touch the dielectric liquid. Okay. Or
Uh,
maybe immerse it in so that the length is L above the liquid and the breadth is
hmm,
perpendicular to our plane of the screen or paper. Right. So L into
hmm,
V will be area of the capacitor.
hmm.
And D is the separation. So you know what would be the if there is no dielectric, you know capacitors will be kappa epsilon 0 A by D. Area is length into
Yes, sir.
breadth, right?
Yes, sir.
But if there is a
Uh,
dielectric, you know how it will get modified. But if dielectric is partially filled, then the capacitance will be again have to be calculated,
hmm, hmm, hmm.
right? What would be the case in that case? Suppose height h is of the dielectric. What will be now the capacitance of this? So dielectric is filled till height h. In that case, what will be the capacitance?
Dielectric, sir. Sorry, sir.
Dielectric is rose to height h, as shown in the diagram. Can you see the diagram?
Yes, sir.
Out of length L, height h is or height L, h is occupied by dielectric. Other part is empty.
तो empty के लिए L minus H.
Correct. L minus h. But so how would you find capacitance of this?
Simply normal capacitance which is equals to kappa epsilon naught A by D. But when we use the dielectric, then then the new capacitance which is C dash, which is equals to C by epsilon naught. उतने टाइम से सर वो डिक्रीज होता है कैपेसिटेंस का मतलब उतने टाइम से.
But in this case, there are two parts, right? One part of the capacitor is empty and the other part is filled with if it's fully filled with dielectric, I will simply say K epsilon
Okay.
0 A upon D.
Okay.
But now
Okay.
it is only partially filled with dielectric. In that case, what should we do?
So we can took the two capacitance like C1 and C2, C1 for the upper part and C2 for the lower part. And for the upper part, we took the length like L minus H. मतलब सर वो
And
D रहेगा जो.
yeah,
And
yes,
for the second part, we took the length for H.
correct.
And we
Very good.
calculate the C1
So you
plus
got
C2.
those two
And
capacitors. So final capacitance is what?
C1 plus C2 कर देंगे सर.
Why C1 plus C2? Are they in series
Because
or parallel?
they're in series.
No. In fact, if you realize these two capacitors, if you connect it to battery, then suppose if left hand plate is connected to positive terminal of battery and the right hand plate is connected to negative terminal of battery, then
तो
the empty
parallel में.
part and
Sorry.
the dielectric part both are connected to same terminal of battery. So they are like two capacitors in parallel.
पैरेलल और दिया भी सर पैरेलल प्लेट कैपेसिटर सो सीरीज में नहीं होगा पैरेलल में रहेगा.
So capacitor parallel plate है, but if you treat this as two capacitors, then these two will be
Okay.
also be parallel in connection.
Okay. Yes sir. हाँ पैरेलल में. So C1 plus C2 कर लेंगे.
So if they are in parallel, it is C1 plus C2.
Yes sir.
But
And we
but now I have to decide. So that part you got right. So this problem is not straightforward, right? You have a lot of things to do.
हाँ.
So
Yes sir.
your first issue was to know what is the capacitance. Second issue is because of the battery, the liquid will rise. How would it rise?
Yes.
Okay, what decides that to what extent this liquid should rise?
Voltage.
Yeah, voltage will decide. It will be a deciding factor. But what is the physics behind it? What makes liquid rise?
So sir basically when the capacitor gets charged, so सर चार्ज के वजह से वो यहाँ पे मतलब चार्ज एक्यूमुलेशन होगा कुछ और
A
वो
charge
लिक्विड
accumulation होगा.
अराइज.
Suppose initially it was empty, correct, between the two. Only the
हाँ
plates
हाँ
are
yes.
partly or touching the liquid.
हम्म.
And now you have connected to the battery and you switch the circuit on. तो ऑन करने से ये लिक्विड की लेवल राइज होती है हाई डेप्थ तक. नाउ व्हाट मेक्स लिक्विड लेवल राइज?
चार्ज सेटअप हुआ तो सर करंट सेटअप होगा तो इसलिए सर होता होगा.
अरे वो फिजिक्स थोड़ी है. वो तो विजुअली बोलते हो चार्ज होगा करंट होगा इसलिए राइज होगा.
अच्छा
अभी मुझे कैलकुलेट कैसे करूं?
कैपिलरी.
टू कैलकुलेट एच आई हैव टू कोरिलेट समथिंग, नो?
हाँ हाँ
We need to
कैपिलरी इफेक्ट सर
correlate
बट
something to
यहाँ
be
पे.
able to arrive at how to arrive at what decides H value. What extent it will rise?
ओके सर.
What is the factor that decides? तो कहने के लिए बराबर है.
कैपिलैरिटी.
बच्चे की तरह कनेक्शन किया तो करंट फ्लो होगा, फिर ये होगा. डीसी करंट फ्लो नहीं होता है डाइलेक्ट्रिक से. तो करंट इज नॉट गोइंग टू फ्लो.
कैपिलैरिटी इफेक्ट सर बट यहाँ पे वो तो नहीं है, कैपिलरी तो नहीं है.
कैपिलैरिटी से वो राइज होता तो फिर बैटरी की क्या जरूरत थी?
हाँ बैटरी की. हाँ वही वही.
फिर तो कैपेसिटर की भी क्या जरूरत थी? खाली दो कोई भी ग्लास प्लेट से हम कर देते.
यस यस. हम्म. सर आप बताइए.
तो मैं तो बताऊंगा ही, बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड सिंपल फिजिक्स
यस
टू
यस.
अंडरस्टैंड दिस.
हाँ
So
यस सर.
suppose let me ask you a question.
हाँ.
When I connect to a battery, a capacitor without
हम्म.
dielectric and capacitor with dielectric, what is the difference in the force? See, both are DC. In both case, current will not flow, but dielectric will, of course, increase the capacitance. Because of this, something else will happen.
चार्ज स्टोर सर ज्यादा होता है फिर आफ्टर द ये मतलब डाइलेक्ट्रिक होता है तो उसके बाद.
Okay, I agree. C times voltage, that will be the charge mode. तो डाइलेक्ट्रिक
हाँ.
की वजह से कैपेसिटेंस ज्यादा हो गया तो चार्ज ज्यादा होगा. फिर क्या होगा और क्या
हाँ
होगा?
और तो सर और सर फिर सर जब चार्जिंग प्लेट मतलब एक सैचुरेशन लेवल पे पहुंचेगा बाद में सर डिस्चार्ज होगा वो और कुछ.
सही लगे.
कैपेसिटर से जब एक पर्टिकुलर सैचुरेशन लेवल पे पहुंच जाएगा मतलब चार्जिंग होते होते बाद में फिर सर डिस्चार्ज भी होगा.
डिस्चार्ज क्यों होगा? Why would it be
वोल्टेज अगर
discharged?
बन.
It is connected to battery, so it will maintain the voltage level.
ओके.
See,
डोंट नो बट.
you see, the energy stored in the capacitor is half CV square.
हाँ हाँ हाफ सी वी स्क्वायर.
So if I
यस.
increase capacitors, then energy stored will increase.
हाँ
All right. Now what
हाँ
happens
हाँ
is,
यस
in this case, if the liquid rises
यस.
also for rise of liquid against the gravity, you require energy.
हम्म.
So if your liquid height is h, then on an average potential energy would be mg h by 2.
ओके. हम्म.
So
यस सर.
whatever energy battery supplies, right?
हम्म.
Now
हम्म. यस.
if the capacitor is empty, battery will supply energy, it will have certain energy.
हाँ
But
हाँ हाँ.
now what will happen is, because of this dielectric can rise by taking energy from the
हम्म.
battery. Okay.
हम्म.
And as the
हम्म.
dielectric rises, energy in the dielectric, energy in the field stored inside the capacitor will increase. So extra energy is
Okay.
supplied by the battery that is stored inside capacitor because of dielectric. But how is it stored in case of dielectric? Because it has pulled the dielectric up, it has utilized that energy.
To rising up. Yes, yes.
So
Okay, sir.
whatever is the increase in electrostatic energy because of the rise, that is what is going to be the increase in potential energy.
Okay, sir.
So on one case you have increased potential energy, but that extra energy came from battery. Okay, because with extra dielectric now capacitor can store more energy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now understood.
So these are the options given. Any guess?
Uh, wait. It's just a second, sir.
Yes.
Option A, sir.
Okay, let's look at it.
Births and death
Let's
and
look at
row.
it. Let's look at it. Okay. So capacitance would be sum of the two capacitance, L minus H
Yes, sir.
without dielectric
Hmm.
and H with dielectric. So that's my new capacitance.
Hmm.
The voltage difference is maintained. So it would indicate there is
Half.
increase in energy.
Hmm.
It will be half CV square
Hmm.
minus old half CV square. V is same. So it will be half delta
Hmm.
CV square.
Yes.
Correct? So if you take delta
Hmm.
C, then you will get this expression. You can see
Hmm.
that epsilon 0 BN term exactly gets cancelled with the original.
Sir.
And this is the energy which is responsible for increasing height.
Yes. MGH.
Check actually if there are
Length, breadth. Breadth, sir.
take with 3 and 4 there is a difference of factor of 2
I think sir half of कट जाता है और फिर
and
option A.
1 and 2 are completely different. Okay, we'll see. No, because I think that potential energy which I have written should have been mgh by 2 if I consider mass as density into volume. Okay, the volume will be d into height h into h by 2. So I should have a half here in this case. There should be half, a factor of 2 here. I hope you understand.
Okay, sir.
So if I equate the two, that factor of 2 will cancel out. So we should get the answer not as option 4, but it should be option 3 because that 2 will cancel out. Okay, just give me a minute.
Yes.
So I have made this change because you see mass of the liquid is m, but all the liquid is not at height h, right? So it goes from 0 to h. So on an average, energy will become mgh by 2. And that
Yes.
mass is the rho into bdh. So you get that
Hmm.
by 2. So 2 gets cancelled on the two sides if you equate the two energy. You get rho gd squared. That is option 4.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Understood. Yes, sir.
Right. Now, this I'm going to show you a very classic situation where actually I don't know how to do the problem, but I still can get the correct answer.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. So here is the problem. So they have given a differential equation and the boundary condition. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what
Yes,
will
sir.
be the solution? And you are given 4 options. Now I must tell you that this is a non-linear differential equation because there is a dy by dx square. And
Yes.
I don't know any theory which would allow me to calculate solution of this. There must be a way, but I don't know any theory of how to calculate.
Okay.
So one of the simplest choices, you can substitute and check whether that's going to be the answer. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. But that would be very tedious, no? You have to calculate first derivative,
Each and
then square, then second derivative, and then after that you have to see all that. But if you see carefully, there is e raised to y sitting on the right hand side.
Yes, sir.
So even after I differentiate y with respect to x, okay, it gives me e raised to y somehow.
E raised to y. Yes, sir.
Right? Which means y must be something like a log. See, if I say y is equal to log x, then e raised to log y will become x. So that tells me that 3 and 4 are not likely solutions.
Yes, sir. Lon.
So now all I need to do is try the next two, 1 and 2 only.
Okay, sir.
So here I don't need to explicitly solve, but there is some process which I should understand. Okay. And I don't know how to solve it, but I am still able to arrive at the answer. So test is not of my ability to solve differential equation, but my understanding of the simple mathematics which goes into it.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now if I try, you may check. You take one derivative and you check whether y of 0 is 0. So if I put x equal to 0, it gives me log 1. So that is 0.
Log 0.
And second also gives me 0. The x is 0, so x times log, whatever log, it is 0.
0. Yes, yes, yes.
Now you need to take derivative and check whether it satisfies. Suppose if both of them still satisfy. Alright, so then the first two is not allowing you to take decision. Then you have already taken one derivative to check whether it satisfies the differential this condition, correct?
Yes, sir.
So take one more
Condition.
then you take one more derivative and see whether it satisfies the equation.
Satisfied by one.
Y dash 0 is equal to -1.
-1. It is satisfied by.
So you take one derivative and check whether y dash of 0 is -1.
Option A, sir. Option A satisfying both the conditions.
So but you have to check whether option 2 satisfies both the conditions.
Okay, okay, sir.
So option 2 also suppose satisfies both the conditions. Then what is next? Then calculate second derivative.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Right? And then you just left hand side you substitute and see if you get x square by 2 plus x plus 1. Right? E raised to y will be that only, no? Right. So then it will tell you that what is your answer. Let's see what the solution shows.
Only, sir, only option A satisfied the given.
Okay.
Option 2 becomes 0 on
Okay.
first derivative.
Why should it become 0? It is x times log of x plus e. So if I take first derivative, it will be log of x plus e, or minus, of course there is a minus sign. So minus log of x plus e. Then second time I take derivative of log. So it will be minus x upon x plus e.
Or sir, when we put the 0, so second term will
First
get
term will
0
be
and
first
log of e.
no, log of is 1.
Log of e.
Log
So
of e is 1. So
log
first
of
term
is
is
1.
minus log e, which is minus 1, and the second term is minus x upon x plus e. So, so y dash
So
of
it
0 is
becomes
still
0.
1. Y dash of 0 is still 1. So I actually need to substitute. Alright? Actually need to
Okay.
substitute. So then you find dy by dx and d2y by dx. Right?
Okay, sir.
And if I take dy by dx square, then both the denominators will be same. Alright? And numerator here will give you x plus 1 whole square. Can you see? Can you see here? So x plus 1 whole square will cancel out with this x plus 1 whole square. And then denominator is square. So it will be 1 upon x square by 2 plus x plus 1. And that's what e raised to y will be. E raised to y will see this log of this with a negative sign. So it is log of this bracket raised to minus 1. So when I do e raised to y, it will give me this bracket raised to minus 1, which is 1 upon x square by 2 plus x plus 1. So it actually satisfies. Option 1
Yes, sir.
is my answer because it satisfies the differential.
Satisfied the question. Yes.
So here I am finding it by simply substituting. I don't have to solve differential equation. But luckily this was option 1. But if it was not option 1, and if I had to substitute all 4 solutions, that's too time consuming. And I should not be doing that kind of thing. So rather first I decide by elimination, by some criteria. So with that simple criteria, I could say 3 and 4 are ruled out. Now I have to worry only about 2 options. Now, amongst the 2 options, I could have tried 2 first and 1 later, or 1 first and 2 later. Doesn't matter. But then I have to just go and circle. So my first trick is that I would actually check whether boundary conditions are satisfied. Well, it so happened in this case both the boundary conditions were satisfied by both the options, and therefore that was not sufficient, and therefore I had to actually differentiate it and verify whether option 1 or option 2. It turns out to be option 1. I mean, option 2 may still be correct answer, but if I choose one, my answer cannot be wrong. I haven't verified option 2, but you can verify. You can verify by substitution. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right. So now see in this particular case, it is very easy and it's very difficult both. So you have to see how you make it easy.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So just let's look at the question. It's very interesting question.
Yes.
Read.
A rod pivoted at one end is rotating clockwise 25 times a second in a plane. A video camera which records at a rate of 30 frames per second is used to film the motion. To someone watching the video, the apparent motion of the rod will seem to be.
So you know the principle of motion picture. See, you know persistence of vision, that if something changes in less than 1/10 of a second in front of your eye, you would not notice it. You know this? In school, they give example that you have a cardboard, you draw parrot on one side and cage on the other side, and you rotate it very fast. Then it appears as if the parrot is inside the cage.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
right? So more than 10 frames passing in front of you would make it look like it's there. All of them are together.
Together. Yes, yes.
So actually, when you look at a movie, films, picture देखते हैं ना?
Hmm.
If you look at a movie, okay,
Hmm.
normally 24 to 30 frames will pass in front of you, and that's what makes it feel that actually it is moving.
Yes. Sir.
So movie is not actually see now with the electronic video and all things have become different. But even there it is almost the same situation. But with the photographic films, the way film was shot originally, they used to have this 30 pictures taken in 1 second.
Yes, sir.
So while you are walking, if they take 30 pictures and somebody is shown this 30 pictures in 1 second, they would see you moving because 10 pictures भी आपको moving दिखाएंगे, but उतना अच्छा clarity नहीं आएगा. With 30 you will have a very clear motion view.
Motion. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So in this case, this rod is revolving 25 times in 1 second, but you are taking 30 snapshots in 1 second.
Okay.
अब क्या होगा?
So sir, 25 times in a sec. 25 times in a second. तो हम लोग इसको फ्रीक्वेंसी के हिसाब से लिख सकते हैं. फ्रीक्वेंसी कि एक सेकंड में नंबर ऑफ वेव्स कितने पास होते हैं पर सेकंड.
यस सब कुछ, बट आपके सामने 4 ऑप्शन है.
हाँ यस सर.
So what do you think will be the answer?
सर इसको रेट ऑफ वेट सर वेट. तो सर बचा हुआ 5 रोटेशंस. वो रॉड सर मतलब अगर हम क्वेश्चन के एनालॉजी से जाएं, जो रॉड है वो 25 टाइम्स घूमता है 1 सेकेंड्स में इन द प्लेन, एंड जो वीडियो कैमरा है वो रिकॉर्ड करता है 30 फ्रेम्स पर सेकेंड. सो सर अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी वाइज अगर हम बात करते हैं तो 25 टाइम्स पर सेकेंड रॉड घूम रहा है, एंड बट वो वीडियो जो निकाल रहा है 30 फ्रेम्स पर सेकेंड. सो अगर डिफरेंस की अगर हम बात किया जाए नॉर्मल की हमें क्या हमारे आईज क्या दिखेगा, अगर नॉर्मल डिफरेंस ही दिखेगा तो सर 5 रोटेशंस बचा 30 - 25 अगर ऐसे जा रहे हैं हम तो 5 रोटेशंस बचा. अब वो सर वी हैव टू डिसाइड व्हिच इज इन क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन और एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन. सो रॉड इज मूविंग इन क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन. सो अगर सामने से कोई देखता है तो उसे एंटी क्लॉकवाइज में दिखना चाहिए. मतलब अगर सर होता है ना, अगर मैं जैसे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मूव्स इन, मतलब हम अपना फिंगर सर अगर राइट क्लॉकवाइज में घुमाते हैं, बट सामने वाले को सर वो ऐसा एंटी क्लॉकवाइज दिखता है.
अभी भी तुम्हारा एनालिसिस एक्यूरेट नहीं है. You are going on gut feeling.
Okay sir.
Okay.
Okay
So
sir.
let's do the analysis. The
Okay,
rod
sir.
is rotating clockwise. Okay. So it makes one revolution in 1/25th of a second. Whereas time interval between successive frame is 1/30th of a second. बरोबर है ना?
हाँ sir.
So what will happen? During this time interval of 1/30th of a second, rod would have moved 5/6 of revolution of 300 or 300 degree. The one revolution would be 360 degree.
2 pi. Yes sir.
Right? But in 1/30th of a second, it would take it would move to 25. It would move 360 degree in 1/25th of a second. Now 1/30th of a second is less than 25. 1/25th.
हाँ,
So it would have moved 5/6 of the entire revolution, so 300 degree. बरोबर है ना?
हाँ सर.
So if I see a rod at particular position and the rod is revolving, and if I take the next picture at 1/30th of a second, it would have moved by 300 degree. तो मुझे क्या लगेगा कि वो 0 पे था, अब 300 पे गया, मतलब उल्टा 60 डिग्री चला गया.
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ.
The rod was going clockwise, but if it
Hmm.
is found at 300 degree, then I would feel that it has gone anti-clockwise by 60 degree.
60 degree. Yes, yes, yes sir. वो पीछे चला गया 60 degree.
Right?
ऐसा लगेगा.
Right. So this appears as if rod has moved backward by 60 degree. Correct?
Yes sir.
So you see one backward revolution in 6 frame. देखो ना, अब 6 एक फ्रेम में 60 डिग्री गया ना, तो 6 फ्रेम के बाद वो वापस वही पोजीशन पे आएगा.
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ.
So in 6 frames you will see the rod has come back to the same position.
Yes sir.
So in 30 frames it will come back to the same position 5 times by rotating backward. So it would have moved anti-clockwise 5 revolutions in 1 second.
Okay sir. Understood.
Visually, from what pictures we take.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
This you may have seen many times. You know, if your fan starts moving faster and faster, suddenly you feel that it's going backward.
उल्टा जाता है.
Or sometimes car is speeding up. You know, then if you look at its wheel, then suddenly you feel that the spoke of wheel is moving backward.
Yes.
Okay, this is the effect. This is called stroboscopic effect actually.
Okay, stroboscopic.
Right. So in this case, obviously your choice is anti-clockwise 5 revolutions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes sir. Yes.
So I think with this, I have given you enough of variety of questions and how you handle them. So every time it is not something you know and therefore you simply decide to answer that way. No, you have to actually analyze the question. In this case, you required very careful analysis. Your gut feeling would have been okay, but that gut feeling may not work all the time.
Yes sir. Yes.
So you have to do more clear mathematical work and visualize simultaneously what must be happening. Yeah. Okay, so I think after this now, I don't have to really tell you how you should solve this kind of question. So now whatever questions we discuss, you should be able to employ one of these ideas in analyzing instead of simply just drawing a lottery.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Okay. So I'll stop this session here.